Hello, everybody. Welcome to the presentation sponsored by Department of Collegiate and Technical Education. And today I'm taking up Municipal Wastewater Engineering 18 CV 55. Here we are going to discuss session 6. The contents which we are going to discuss under the session 6 are biochemical oxygen demand, which is also called as BOD, which is one of the important chemical characteristics of the sewage. And under the chemical oxygen demand, we are going to discuss what is carbonaceous demand, nitrogenous demand, and derivation of BOD equation. Coming to biochemical oxygen demand, there are two types of organic matter in a sewage. The one may be which is biodegradable and another one is non-biodegradable. So the organic matter may be biodegradable or non-biodegradable. Organic matter is often assessed in terms of oxygen required to completely oxidize the organic matter to carbon dioxide, water, and other end products of oxidation. Therefore, biochemical oxygen demand is defined as the amount of oxygen required by the microorganisms, mostly by bacteria, to carry out decomposition of biodegradable organic matter under aerobic condition. The BOD test is widely used to determine the pollution strength of domestic and industrial waste in terms of the oxygen that they will require if discharged into natural water courses. It is the one of the most important tests in stream pollution control activities. This test is of prime importance in regulatory work and in studies designed to evaluate the purification capacity of receiving bodies of water. This BOD test is also helpful in design of wastewater treatment plants and also to measure the efficiency of some treatment processes. The organic matter present in the wastewater may also or may belong to two groups. One is carbonaceous matter and another one is nitrogenous matter. The ultimate carbonaceous BOD of a waste is the amount of oxygen necessary for microorganisms in the sample to decompose the biodegradable carbonaceous material. This is the first stage of oxidation and corresponding BOD is called as first stage BOD. In the second stage, the nitrogenous matter is oxidized by autotrophic bacteria and the corresponding BOD or nitrification demand. In fact, polluted water will continue to absorb oxygen for many months, and it is not practically feasible to determine this ultimate oxygen demand. Hence, the 5 days period is generally chosen for the standard BOD test, during which oxidation is about 60 to 70% complete, while within 20 days period oxidation is about 95 to 99% complete. A constant temperature of 20 degrees Celsius is maintained during incubation. The BOD value of 5-day incubation period is commonly written as BOD5 or simply as BOD. Another reason for selecting 5 days as standard duration is to avoid interference of nitrification bacteria. Nitrification starts after 6th or 7th day. Sanitary engineers are generally interested in carbonaceous BOD only. So by selecting 5 days, we generally get only the carbonaceous BOD. Interference of nitrification can be eliminated by pre-treatment of sample or by using inhibitory agents like methylene blue, etc. Nowadays, BOD test is also done at 27 degrees Celsius and duration of 3 days. Results can be obtained faster and is more nearer to the actual field conditions in India. The sample is diluted. This is how they do the BOD test. The sample is diluted with a known volume of specially prepared dilution water. Dilution water contains all types of nutrients and salts which are necessary for the biological activity and phosphate buffer to maintain the pH of around 7 to 7.5. Diluted water is fully aerated. The initial DO of the diluted water is measured. The diluted sample is then incubated for a 5 day at 20 degrees Celsius. The DO of the diluted sample after the incubation period is found out. The difference between the initial DO and the diluted sample after the incubation period is found out. The difference between initial and the final value indicates the oxygen consumed by the seawater sample in aerobic decomposition in 5 days. So the equations is BOD is equal to DO consumed in the test by the diluted sample into volume of the diluted sample divided by volume of undiluted sewage sample. See here I am showing you a BOD curve. A curve has been plotted between BOD in ppm versus time in days. As the time progresses, the curve is going up and it has taken this shape. And at the point A, if the curve would have gone along the B, that's called the first stage BOD or the carbonaceous units, carbonaceous demand. That is, the carbon matters are oxidized. And after the A towards the C, the nitrogen compounds are broken down into the final products, which is called as second stage BOD. And this is also another figure BOD exerted versus this one. So within 5 to 10 days, all the most of the carbonaceous matter demand will be done, and after that, the nitrification oxygen demand starts. So this is the figure of BOD testing. This is how they do the test. Coming to the mathematical representation of the first stage BOD, or the biochemical oxygen demand, BOD test is conducted to determine the oxygen demand for the first 5 days on a number of samples, and their average value is taken as the VOD5 at temperature. In fact, if the oxygen is made available for a period of more than 5 days, it is found that oxygen is consumed rapidly for 6 to 7 days and then slows down until the end of about 20 days or so. Thereafter, it may again accelerate for some time and slow down to a very low rate for an indefinite period. The first demand during the first 20 days or so, in fact, occurs due to oxidation of organic matter and is called carbonaceous demand or first stage demand or initial demand. The later demand occurs due to biological oxidation of ammonia and is called nitrogenous demand or second stage demand. In fact, the sanitary engineers are more concerned with the first stage demand since the oxygen consumed in its satisfaction is not recoverable. Hence, the term BOD is usually used to mean the first stage BOD, that is, the demand due to the presence of carbonaceous matter alone. The rate at which the BOD is satisfied at any time depends on temperature and also on the amount and nature of organic matter present in sewage at that time. Here, the amount of organic matter exerted with respect to time has been plotted. A curve. The rate at which the BOD is satisfied at any point, at any time, depends on the temperature and also the amount of natural organic matter present in the sewage. So at T is equal to 0, all complete organic matter is present. As the time passes, organic matter is reduced. Thus, at a certain temperature, the rate of deoxygenation is assumed to be directly proportional to the amount of organic matter present in the sewage, so it can be mathematically written as dLT by dt is proportional to LT, R is equal to a constant called K minus as it is decreasing. So when you rearrange the things and if you integrate, what you get is dlt by dt. And if you take k outside and if you integrate dt, you get t plus c. Your constant of integration can be evaluated using a boundary condition. So after doing all these things, the mathematics, we end up with an equation which is called as yt is equal to L into 1 minus 10 to the power of minus kd into t, where kd is the rate constant. And an equation kd is given the temperature correction to kdt is equal to kd into 20 degrees Celsius into 1 minus 0.47 to the power of t minus dt, which is temperature correction. And this is another review of BOD curve. Up to the point A, its first stage BOD carbonaceous demand called biochemical oxygen demand or carbonaceous biochemical demand, and afterwards A to C, which is called a second stage demand or the utilization of nitrogen compounds by the bacteria. And so we are more interested in the first stage demand. So the equations what we use all um, the first stage BOD equations. See, we have discussed about biochemical oxygen demand. The test has got its own limitations. These are some of the limitations of a BOD test. BOD test measures only the biodegradable organic matter and it is not going to measure the non biodegradable organic matter. Time duration of the test is very long, that it takes 5 days to find out the amount of organic matter. So when quick results are needed, this test is not useful. Pre-treatment of the treatment has to be done. If the sewage contains toxic waste, nitrifying bacteria can cause interferences and could give higher results. To avoid them, proper care has to be taken, and it is essential to have high concentration of bacteria present in the sample. So these are the references which are used. Thank you.